So guys, I recently watched this clip from the Boondocks from Adult Swim. You know, the show directed by a black person, has a black cast, told about black culture and the problems in the black community, but got canceled because some butthurt people said it's not culturally appropriate for black people, or it's not accurate for black people, even though it was created by all black people. Yeah, that show from Adult Swim. And now it's on HBO Max, all the seasons. Now, the reason I'm talking about this one clip is because it's a clip by Martin Luther King himself, and I see a lot of news stories today in memorial for Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And with this clip, it literally showed out how MLK might react in today's society, where a lot of black people have gone the other direction of what MLK was trying to fight for. Like, there are a lot of black people that want to resegregate everything. They want their own schools. They want their own streets. They want. I gotta understand businesses. Everybody wants their own businesses, but it doesn't have to be named a black business. For black people, only for black people. Now, the reason I bring this up is because in this one clip, MLK said, "Is this what I got shot for?" Ignorance acting this way, ignorance fighting, ignorance still complaining, ignorance not trying to fight out of oppression, and a lot of things nowadays is that happens in the black community is because of ignorance or niggas.
Excuse me, brothers and sisters, please. If someone could just turn off.
King looked out on his people and saw they were in great need. So he did what all great leaders do. He told them the truth.
Will you ignorant niggas please shut the hell up?
He just said what I think he said.
Is this it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings for? I had a dream once. It was a dream that little black boys and little black girls would drink from the river of prosperity, freed from the thirst of oppression. But lo and behold, some 4 decades later, what have I found but a bunch of trifling, shiftless, good-for-nothing niggas? And I know some of you don't want to hear me say that word. It's the ugliest word in the English language, but that's what I see now, niggas. And you don't want to be a nigga, because niggas are living contradictions. Niggas are full of unfulfilled ambitions. Niggas wax and wane. Niggas love to complain. Niggas love to hear themselves talk but hate to explain. Niggas love being another man's judge and jury. Niggas procrastinate until it's time to worry. Niggas love to be late. Niggas hate to hurry. Black entertainment television is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Usher, Michael Jackson is not a genre of music. And now I'd like to talk about Soul Plane. I've seen what's around the corner. I've seen what's over the horizon. And I promise you niggas have nothing to celebrate. And no, I won't get there with you. I'm going to Canada.
And my thing is, when I seen this clip, I was like, yo, Boondocks had a lot of good points calling out the black community for their own hypocrisy. And a couple years ago, it got canceled because some people were butthurt of how some of the things the Boondocks said was truthful. It was actually trying to enlighten some black people about their own faults, and people hated it. Some black people loved it. Some black people hated it. But mainly white, I want to say white liberals hated it because they felt like it wasn't culturally appropriate. Like, who the hell are y'all to tell me what's culturally appropriate or not? This is what that's what also Malcolm X said about white liberals. They say that they fight for black people, but they're the first ones to be hypocritical about their actions. And with this clip from the Boondocks, and pretty much everything else from the Boondocks, Martin Luther King, I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King nowadays would be called a Uncle Tom in today's standpoint. If Martin Luther King was still alive and he never got shot, the black community would probably would have been a lot more different. More black people would be out of oppression. More black people would not be complaining. More black people would not be blaming white people for actions that happen in their life. Like, everything that happens in the black person's life, they can't always blame it on white people. Like black on black violence that a lot of black people do not want to talk about, even though a lot of them say we should talk about the problems in the black community. But when it's time to talk about it, they quiet. They want to call you a coon. They call you a coon, Uncle Tom, saying I'm not being truthful, or I'm trying to spread propaganda. I'm exposing the black community, and a lot of people do not want to talk about this, which they should, because there needs to be a point in time where people need to talk about this. But there are people who would tell you, hey, but there are black ignorants who are rich black ignorants who are living in mansions, got golden toilets, will tell you how oppressed they are just because of the mere fact that they're black. Just because you're a certain color doesn't mean you're oppressed. The environment you grew up in, or the environment you're in, is what makes you oppressed. If you decide to be a gang banging, to be hanging out with thugs in the streets, who sell drugs, could care less about their own community, shoot other black people, then that's exactly what you're gonna get. Life of crime and life of oppression. Now why don't some woke black people talk about this? It's because they don't want to talk about black people. That's why the show Boondocks got canceled, because they was spreading some truth about the black community. And Boondocks is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. Right there with the Fresh Prince, and I want to say Color Purple, but not really. And like I said, there's a lot of things that the Boondocks called out. They called out, ignorant moments from black people, and then they pretty much just called out ignorant moments from black people that transpires to them getting shot in the streets by police officers. And like I said, this is some things that they also talked about a lot of things from high cholesterol and soul food. But like I said, a lot of people do not want to talk about this because it's not culturally appropriate. Things like this needs to be talked about more. Like I said, if MLK was alive today, he would be called an Uncle Tom. He'd be called a coon. He'd be called a sellout in today's terms, because a lot of black people do not want to hear things about themselves, because we're too in our own feelings. We always want to blame the white man for some of our own actions. The white man ain't telling us to go out in the streets, kill our own black people. That's from rap music. And the thing about rap music is, these people could use this platform to try to better educate us, but they use it they want to talk about drugs, they want to talk about Hennessy, they want to talk about getting lit, they want to talk about twerking in a strip club. We all have heard this before, but apparently if it's a new artist, it's something new. But with people like Nas, Jay-Z, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, trying to spread some real truthful words, they say it's boring, or it's not what we want. This is what I'm talking about. People do not want to hear stuff like this, and that's one of the biggest problems with the black community. They do not want to talk about the problems in their very own community. Why don't they? Because because they scared to talk to actually call things out like this. And that's what's very upsetting. A lot of black people need to wake up and actually talk about the problems in the black community. Planned Parenthood was created by a racist because Margaret Staggart, I forgot her last name, didn't want word to get out that Planned Parenthood was created to stop black women from repopulating. And guess what? It worked. She won. More black women more black women do abortions than white women. The white women, Italian, Chinese, even Egyptian women or African women, like Black American women. They make up 8% of the population, but they every year, I don't want to say every year, but for a whole year, over 220,000 abortions, while white women did like 160. And you know, white women make up more than black women do. Like I said, before, if MLK was alive today, he be called a coon, Uncle Tom, or he hates black people. But it's something that a lot of black people don't want to talk about. If you guys like what I'm saying, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'll see y'all next one. Peace.